No one left behind. That is the commitment from Israel as the sixth day of the truce with Hamas is underway and soon to expire. 161 hostages remain in Hamas captivity. 4 of them are children. Today, families of 10 Israelis are anxiously awaiting for the safe return of their loved ones. Israel says the abuse by Hamas does not stop, even up to the very last minute of these hostages being released into safety. Crowds terrorizing the hostages in those final moments. Israeli government officials, including spokesman Eylon Levy, likens it to a scene from the Game of Thrones. He is with us now from Tel Aviv. He served as the international media advisor to the president of Israel, Isaac Herzog, also a veteran of the Israel Defense Forces. Thanks for being with us once again. I want to begin with this family, the Bibas family. We are hearing mixed reports that this mother and these 2 little boys may not be alive. There is no confirmation on that. Is there anything more that you can share about their well-being?
Now, these are really horrific claims by Hamas that the family are no longer alive. And I can tell you that I, like everyone else in this country, is very, very, very angry. For over a month, that image of Shiri Bibas with her 2 adorable little children being abducted into the Gaza Strip have become iconic of Hamas's crimes against humanity on October 7th, when they brutally abducted 240 people into the Gaza Strip, including a 9-month-old baby. What kind of sick monsters abduct a 9-month-old baby? What kind of sick monsters hold a 9-month-old baby? What kind of sick monsters might then have traded it away to a different faction, or murdered it, or allow him to die through negligence? Now, we are investigating these claims. The IDF has been in touch with the survivors of the Bibas family in Israel to update them about these claims and to investigate them. And if this turns out to be true, we have been very clear: there will be nowhere to hide for any Hamas terrorist who harms so much as a hair on the head of Israeli hostages. We hold Hamas solely responsible for the welfare and well-being of those vulnerable hostages, and we are demanding that it release everyone immediately and unconditionally.
I know the family of those little boys and the husband to that mother is holding out hope that this is not true, and we will wait for that confirmation. Confidence that you have in this latest group of hostages that will be released today. We're anticipating 10 more. Will any Americans be among this group?
We're on day 6 now of the hostage release pause. It was originally meant to last 4 days in exchange for 50 women and children, and that has since been extended. The arrangement on the table is that for every 10 hostages Hamas releases, we will grant another 1-day hostage release pause. We've lined up more than enough violent criminals, Palestinian violent criminals in Israeli jails to be released under that framework, should Hamas decide to continue releasing those hostages. I can't comment on the identity of those who we hope are on their way out. We'll comment on who they are as soon as they are safely in Israeli territory. And we hope that Hamas will continue releasing our hostages. And when they stop, when Hamas stops releasing hostages, we will stop the pause, and the fighting will resume to pressure Hamas to release everyone, all the babies, all the children, all the women, all the men, all the elderly, all the civilians, all the soldiers. There will be no one left behind, because the only thing that has brought Hamas to a position where it is releasing hostages is the unrelenting military pressure of the Israeli Defense Forces against Hamas. We've clobbered it. We've had Hamas begging for a breather. That's why it's releasing hostages, and we'll continue ramping up the pressure until it sends every last one home.
And how much of that pressure includes the release of men, those wounded, and also soldiers as a possible next release of this group?
We are going to apply all necessary pressure to ensure that Hamas releases all of the hostages, all of them, including the men, because their lives are worth no less. The families who are coming back now to Israel are arriving to broken worlds and broken families. We have not only children who are being sent back, having been orphaned with at least one parent murdered on October 7th. The last batch of children released all returned without their fathers, who are still captives in Gaza, still hostage. And of course, it's impossible for these poor children who suffered so much psychological and physical abuse in the Gaza Strip to begin a process of healing. While their fathers are still the hostages of the people that the army of terror that brutally beheaded, burned, and raped so many people on October 7th. So I can promise you this: the moment Hamas stops releasing our hostages, we will stop the hostage release pause, and we will up the pressure until we get everyone home.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.